I just got rejected from a retail job because I don't have any recent retail experience. I have an engineering degree, I have a master's degree. I just find this so amusing because I have put so much of my focus on internships, teaching assistant jobs, freelance projects. But the job market and breaking into tech is so impossible right now that I'm resorting to retail. But since I haven't worked in that field in so long that now my skills are outdated again.
Okay, I've talked about this before, but I'm just kind of bringing it up because it keeps popping up on my timeline. As like an ex-retail worker, I'm telling you right now, most customer service jobs don't want someone who has like an endless amount of degrees. They don't. Okay, they don't. And I keep seeing these like I have like a doctorate, I have like a master's and I got rejected from Walgreens. And it's like, yeah, you should have. Like, and I understand that there is like a job shortage right now and I understand that people are like hurting, but like I'm telling you, a lot of these places, they're like a lot of like retail jobs, customer service jobs, they're looking for someone with like the intent of longevity. If you put on your resume that you have a master's in whatever degree and you're trying to apply for like a cashier position, I don't think that's your long-term goal, okay? Not to mention like the darker, more insidious part of this is that like customer service jobs are looking for people who aren't going to like cause a commotion and like push back against management. Like that is one thing that I learned pretty quickly when I went from like being a customer service worker to being a corporate employee and then going back to customer service is like they don't like pushback. They want people who are just going to say yes. Like if you as like a regular salesperson come up with like an idea that you think is like a more efficient way to do things, but it's not like the standard way to do things. Management doesn't like that. Like at least in most customer service jobs that I've worked, they don't love that. And one thing that's true about people who work in like a more corporate setting is they like to push back and like that is just not something that exists in like customer service world. So anyways, yeah, go apply somewhere else. I mean like obviously do what you need to do to survive, but like there's a reason that you're not getting those jobs.
Like being in your 20s now, we are so different from the 20s that our parents were experiencing and our grandparents because the economy and things are so different. And I was saying how it's because they had way more capital. They could do a lot more with $40,000 a year. Whereas like now $40,000 a year, girl, where are you living? You're living in a shoebox. And I think like a prime example of this, obviously there's so many people who experience this, is like I have a master's degree. A master's degree I got it at 22 and I can't use it because the jobs that are set for this master's degree are being defunded. Public health care. Big shock. I wonder why that's being defunded. What's ironic about it is like education is used as this tool to gain more capital, to move up socially and economically and in class, right? In the past, it has been, if you get a PhD, a master's, and a college degree, you are typically at a standing point that's better than someone who's not in those education brackets, right? Whereas like now, they're blockading education because everything costs so much money. You have crippling student loan debt, and then you can't get a job to pay off that student loan debt. And so I think it's more than just, oh, your parents had more capital. Your parents were able to do a lot with a college degree. It's even the degrees you have now are not useless. I'm not going to say don't get your education. I don't regret getting my master's, but they don't even offer or create spaces for that because everything is like, oh, well, I want 70 hours of experience in this specific thing. Meanwhile, okay, but I did my master's degree and I have 100 plus, God knows 200 plus hours within this realm, but you don't take that because it's not work experience because I was getting an education and I wasn't working. Does that make sense?
I am 5 years post-grad with my master's degree, and I can finally say with certainty that I regret it. I honestly forget that I even have a master's degree. I started in 2019 before the big AI bubble, and I genuinely thought that this would have been a good choice for me. Now, the problem with AI and what we're today is that people feel like they're experts in things and they don't need specialized knowledge anymore. This is why we went to school, by the way, to get this specialized knowledge. I spent tens of thousands of dollars to realize that everything I learned in school was basically Googleable. It is something that probably ChatGPT could have given me the same answers on. The difference is I just sat in a classroom all day and spent a lot of money for it. I always ask people that want to do a master's degree, what is your intentions? Are you struggling to find a job? Are you scared of becoming an adult and you want to delay it a few more years? Do you want some amazing study abroad experience before you settle down and start a life? Well, those were all the things I wanted. The biggest issue with studying abroad is that the connections that that school has in the country that you're in will not really come back to your home country. So unless you plan on staying in that country forever, you're not really going to find opportunities in any other country that you want to live or you plan to move back to. And yes, it's amazing to make connections with people, and that's kind of the reason why we go to school, right? To like make these connections. It's not just about the education. The issue is that one, people are really antisocial these days, okay? They don't know how to have conversations and they're not really looking to make like lifelong connections anymore. And two, the biggest issue is that everyone's in the same boat as you. Like everyone is searching for a job. Everyone is searching for that connection. No one is that connection. So your connections that are going to help you find jobs are really just going to be job fairs and like whatever your university sets up. But again, you come back to the issue with if you don't plan on staying in that exact location, you're going to have trouble finding a job after. And I get it. Not every degree is a scam. Like I'm sure there's some science degrees still, or being a doctor, like you obviously need to study for that, whatever. I'm talking about like the business, the communications, the marketing, the computer science, basically anything that's kind of been replaced by AI today. I find these degrees to be complete scams because